we're going to do this, but we're going to do it our way.
You bought a robot baby?
Wow, that was a joke grenade. That took me a second. Imagine the poop emoji as furniture.
It's weird that we didn't do that 10 minutes ago.
We should have started that before, you know. That makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't we do that?
Too late now.
Matt, you forgot to disclaimer this part. We're old, and we remember how it used to be. There, go. And it was better then, too. You got to put that in there. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly.
While you guys are weaving belts, I'm going to sing this little tune that I wrote.
We think we're funny. On with the show.
This is X Radio X.
Shit. Hey, look at that. I hit record, Matt, and the son of a bitch started. Here we go. It's X Radio X, everybody. That's how you start a professional show. Is, hey, Matt, the son of a bitch started. Let's go. It's like an old lawnmower where you're just pulling. Thank God, here it is.
I was turning the crank as fast as I could.
The hamsters were running. My internet right now is just I don't know what the problem is. And I work in technology for a living, so people think, oh, you work in technology, therefore you should magically be able to fix everything, internets, any of that stuff. No, it really doesn't work that way.
So you don't go to each member of your household and tell them to turn off Fortnite before we record?
Amazingly enough, Fortnite is not played in my house.
Oh.
My kids are too cool for that. They're like, oh, Fortnite. Everybody plays Fortnite, Dad. Nobody.
It's not cool anymore.
That's not cool. We play Roblox and Minecraft because we're cooler than the Fortnite people.
Really?
Yeah,
it's back to that?
I don't think they ever left it. I was trying to be cheeky and funny, but my kids have really never gotten into the whole Fortnite thing. They're very much the Roblox. They're still very much Minecraft. My oldest, who's 17, he still digs Halo and a lot of Halo stuff and Mario and Sonic and those type of games. So,
yeah, I just see all those games. I just get motion sick now. So
and to
pathetic.
Think that was a vast majority of our life, Matt.
I know.
Frozen pizza, Pepsi, and video games.
I know.
And
those were the good times.
Now those damn kids' games make me motion sick. All right, Papa, let's do this show.
Welcome everybody to episode 14. Thanks for sticking with us while we rant about nonsense. We do have some things we wanted to talk about today.
And like the rest of my life, I prepared for about a half an hour, so we should be good.
Yeah, I think we're going to have plenty of stuff to talk about. But
so.
First, we have to do some legal stuff, stuff for the kids, the children with sensitive earlobes, and the bones inside the ears too.
Yeah, the tympanic membranes.
Thank you.
The sensitive portion of your ear. The part that when you feel pressure, stop with the Q-tip.
Yeah, don't go any further than that. That's the safe thing to do. All right, here we go. Ladies and gents, we are grown-ass men. Sometimes we say bad words. This is your last warning. No turning back. Do not pass go. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Please keep your arms and legs inside the podcast until it comes to a complete stop. Enjoy your ride. All right, there we go. Now we can continue.
That was a good disclaimer.
Thanks. I just wrote it like 30 seconds ago.
That's all right. I did a half hour prep for this, so we're off to the races there, man.
So how do you want to start this? How do you want to tell people what we're doing? Because it really became, as we were discussing, and I think this is going to be fun, but as we were discussing what we wanted to talk about this episode, we somehow just blended the two things into a who hash of something completely different.
Which hopefully this is better than Who Hash, because that is a terrible food that Matt invented.
It's delicious. I know at least nobody likes it. I was going to say I know at least one person who likes it. It's pretty much just me.
I think at one point in time there was a version of Who Hash that you made that I could stomach.
Yeah. Well, see, initially it's amazing. If you don't smell it and you don't have to deal with it afterwards.
I feel
it's
like
a delicious meal.
I feel like somebody explained something else in my life exactly like that. Huh. I wonder what that could have been.
So this is what we're gonna do.
Ah, boy. So,
Go ahead, Jace.
oh, great. We've already started giggling like 12-year-old girls or boys. So what we're gonna do is, because like you said, we started off talking about this a week ago.
Yeah.
And it started off as kind of a game you wanted to play. Well, not a game, but it was kind of like, hey, so I have these 3 categories, and we should go out and find songs that either fit in 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, yay, that sounds great. Or we could do songs that, did I say from generational songs or songs that meant a lot to a specific moment in time?
It was going to be like our songs that influenced us throughout our lives.
That's
to
what it
cause us to like certain things. Like what made us like metal? What made us like, pop music, cover songs, things like that.
Oh, I don't even have to do research for that. We can just do that one.
And then we mixed it into a hybrid of a super soldier, if you will, of podcast information.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys can't see the camera right now because I got a severe nose itch. It looks like I've got a coke problem. I just keep itching and like rubbing my nostril. It's terrible. I literally look like a guy who's like, hey, so what's going on over there?
I'm glad I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Nobody else can.
Blow?
Yeah, anybody got any blow? Hey, what's going on over there? Anyways, yes, that is what we had planned on doing, and I think we'll probably get there.
Sure.
I have a feeling we're probably going to do all of the things we talked about.
Great. I'm excited. But I would like you to start so I know what you're talking about.
Well, so
you have songs. You wrote down a number of songs.
I have songs because in my week of thinking of this and then forgetting what I thought about and then sitting down and thinking about it again.
Right.
It kept going back for me to songs. Like songs kept coming up that were like a specific moment in time.
Okay.
Like I remembered a certain thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just need to start out with the one that is in the title of this episode.
Perfect.
Did you see the title of the episode?
That will include. I don't understand it, but I see
the episode 14, the one with meaningful songs that will include Jared Reddick. Do you know who Jared Reddick is?
No.
I hope I said his name right.
Who's Jared Reddick?
This is where it's gonna totally go off the rails.
Excellent.
He's the lead singer of Bowling for Soup.
Okay.
But this is not a Bowling for Soup song.
Of course not.
What do you mean? They've got some and never mind. We'll have that. We could do a whole episode on my defense of Bowling for Soup.
Sure. Okay.
But we won't right now.
All right.
I just hope I said his name right. Because if I didn't, because I want to be able to hashtag it and then hopefully he'll like it. And then, you know how that works.
Someone will correct us. I guarantee.
Yeah. I hope it's him.
Yeah. He will correct us personally.
I hope he's like, Jace, listen up,
buddy.
My name's Tom, not Jared. Last name's Smith, not Reddick. Get it right, asshole. Anyways, so I was thinking about songs and I kind of know, but don't know how I got to this at the same time because it does remind me of a very specific moment in time.
Okay.
And the funny thing is it has zero to do with Radio X. This one has nothing to do with Radio X.
All right. I'm done.
This one, it's so did you know that he wrote the theme song for Phineas and Ferb?
No, I did not know that.
He did. He also wrote a few, I don't want to say all, but a few of the songs. They have a soundtrack, Phineas and Ferb soundtrack.
Okay.
And it has all kinds of funny cartoon songs on it.
Sure.
And there's one, it's called, I wrote it down here because it's actually a fairly long song title. It's called You Snuck Your Way Right Into My Heart by his fake 80s metal band called Love Handle. But it's spelled with umlauts over the E like Motley Crue. Yeah. It's genius. I'm just going with genius. Reminds me of a specific place in time, but it's also genius. Yeah. And I just remember why, because it's a total parody on that whole type of Uber love ballad type thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And he had me at like a ninja of love, rappelling down from above, you snuck your way right into my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I was like,
that's genius.
You have ninjas in your song. It's on a cartoon that I love. And I remember sitting, and my kids loved it too. So it reminds me of sitting there watching Phineas and Ferb with my kids. And it also ties into a group that I enjoy. And I don't care if people make fun of me for it. I do like them.
No, and I think that there are a couple bands who do that. And I think that is definitely genius when you can write a song that hits something for both the adults watching and the kids watching without it being too, I mean, that takes talent. And I think that's not, I don't know Bowling for Soup or the band members of them personally to say whether they were high or drunk when they wrote stuff like that. But I think to be able to write a song like that makes the adults say, oh, that's awesome. And the kids are down with it too. That's pretty cool. And there are not a lot of artists, I think, who can do that regularly. Weird Al is probably one of them.
Yes, he definitely. He fits into, I think he fits into that genius category. We were kind of talking about that before we got recording.
Yeah.
That type of music. But that was, I was like, he's never going to see this one coming. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody saw it coming. He's like, he doesn't know that I'm going to lead with the singer from Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
He has no idea this is coming. And then bam.
If I had to guess 10 artists that you would talk about on our podcast, that wouldn't have been in, I mean, I could have guessed 90 and I would have never guessed Bowling for Soup.
The funny thing is one of my other songs is like, okay, that one reminds me of sitting there watching Phineas and Ferb with my kids. Specific moment. It's a hilarious cartoon. The song, there's all kinds of funny songs in that. There's one called Squirrels in My Pants, which is hilarious.
Sounds like it.
It is. It really is. There's one that's Finadroids and Furbots. There's the theme song from the Phineas and Ferb show. No, I'm not shilling for a Disney show, but it was good.
Okay.
And where I'm going to end here with this, and this actually doesn't have anything to do with the song.
Okay.
But it also, that cartoon was a specific span of time, and it ended just as I was, and this is going to sound weird, and this is not like, oh, feel bad for Jace moment, but this is what happened. The ending of the show, the last episode, I remember sitting and watching in my old house with my kids.
Okay.
And it was right before I got divorced.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I know that kind of sucks, but I just had to finish out the story. But I don't, it's not a bad memory because I remember sitting there with my kids watching it. It's a good memory, actually.
It was one of the lights in the not so light part of your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah. And so there, now I think we've touched all the emotions in that.
Wow. We really have. You tugged at our heartstrings. You hit our funny bone and other anatomical things.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you.
And if you are the singer for Bowling for Soup listening to our podcast, please tweet us or say something on Facebook or find us on Instagram and tell us what your name is. Because if you don't tell us, we're just going to say your name's Jared Reddick.
Yeah. I'm 99.900% sure that's his name.
Very good. Okay, so we're agreeing, I think, that's probably genius. It's not.
I'm going with genius.
It's goofy, but in a smart way. It's not goofy in a what's wrong with this person way. It's goofy in a they really put some thought into it.
Yeah, it takes some definite talent to do things like that.
They Might Be Giants is another band that does that. They are really good at making music that kids connect with, but adults definitely get something different out of it. Like some of their obscure references and some of the things that they sing about are done in a way that's really easy for kids to be attracted to. Like I listen to them with my kids all the time and we're both entertained. Maybe not my wife so much, but but me and the boys are down with some They Might Be Giants for sure.
Oh, come on. Istanbul is Constantinople. That doesn't entertain her. Particle Man?
Yeah, maybe
Particle Man.
Yes, exactly. And that song works on a lot of different levels. Like you could really debate what they were talking about in Particle Man. Like when they talk about, Triangle Man, Person Man, Universe Man, and all the different symbolism, you could really dive down a rabbit hole of a very weird song and think these guys may be geniuses.
And then
they might be giants, but they may be geniuses.
Yes, they might be giants, but they may be geniuses. And they have so many other songs that are not like that are just straight up good songs.
Yeah, for sure. All right. What else you got?
Oh, you didn't have another one? Was They Might Be Giants your thing?
Well, no, I have a song. I have a song that's definitely, we have to be able to hear it, which we can't do, but I'm not going to sing it for you, but are you familiar with Family Affair by Sly and the Family Stone?
Yes. Do I Breathe Oxygen?
It's a great song. And the melody's great. The song is great. You know, the background singers that do It's a Family Affair, that's all great. But if you listen to Sly, if you listen to him singing, I feel like he may have just ad-libbed it in the studio while they were recording, and everyone just kind of rolled with it and said, "Oh, well, he's a genius, so let's just go with it." But I feel like there may have been a little bit of genius and a little bit of high or drunk, because, like, okay, so the first verse is one child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you'd just love to burn. Not not like Shakespeare, but okay, it's very literal. Mom loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood's thicker than the mud. Okay, fair enough. But then the next line is like, the way he sings it, it literally sounds like he's just making it up, because he's talking about a couple. He says, newlywed a year ago, but you're still checking each other out. Hey, nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there, but sure, you can't stay because you've been somewhere else. You can't cry because you look broke down, but you're crying anyway because you're all broke down. It's family affair. Like, that's literally how he says it. It's one run-on sentence, and then the backing vocals are like, okay, I guess we just keep singing, and then it just goes on with the song.
I looked up the lyrics, and they literally just finish out with, it's a family affair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. There's a couple of little breaks in there, but the lines for the lyrics are 13 lines of It's a Family Affair.
Please, if you are listening to this podcast, pause it, listen to this song, and at that verse, it's almost like the sentence he's singing doesn't even fit in the amount of time he has, and so he has to rush it at the end. Like, the words kind of, like when you have a poster and you don't time your spacing out, and you have to kind of wrap the words down the side of the page. It's almost like he did that vocally. If you listen to it, you'll see what I'm saying, and you'll think, all right, well, maybe a little high, but maybe a little genius. But I'm thinking probably high. I'm thinking he probably went into the studio. People were like, hey, Sly, you got lyrics? He's like, yeah, I got it. And maybe he had like a couple sentences. Then the music kicks in, and he's thinking, oh, man, it's not coming to me. But he just kept going, and he didn't decide, you know what, guys, let's wait till tomorrow. Let me get this down. Let me go back to the writing desk. Maybe ask some of my buddies about family stuff. He just said, nope, I'm just going to wing it. And he winged it, and it became a huge hit. So I don't know. Is that genius to you?
Well, Sly, that whole thing, there was very genius, a lot of genius to it. Yeah. But I'm going with Drunken High, because the history of the history of that whole group, and him especially, was very much Drunken High. Unfortunately,
he had some friends, but that's like it. If you hear this song with new ears, because I'm sure everyone has heard this song, but if you hear this song with new ears after I'm telling you about this particular line, you are literally going to think, oh yeah, he couldn't figure out what to say, so he just filled some words in, and then the background singers were like, we better start singing, and they did. It's weird that the studio said, Yeah, let's release that. Like they should have really said something. But what do I know? Because it became a huge hit.
What do
High
you
and
know?
Drunk and Genius.
I'm going with High and Drunk with a little bit of genius on that one. Definitely High and Drunk though. Definitely
Yes,
High and Drunk
for sure.
So
What do you got?
So I went for my next one, and this one was almost one of the first. It's not a song particularly, but it's a group.
Okay.
This does have to do with Radio X. I mean, I listened to these guys before Radio X, but I also played them a bunch while I was working at Radio X. So it kind of fits in with our whole thing.
Okay.
And in the world of, so it reminds me of a specific moment in time, but it also fits into the drunk, high, or genius. and I wrote down, where did I write it down? This is what I get for writing things down on pieces of paper all over the place. I wrote, it fits all categories of drunk, high, and genius. It's the Dead Milkmen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because, and I don't have specific, I like how you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
What do you have here?
Dead Milkmen. Punk Rock Girl?
Well, no, I wasn't going for the easy one.
All right, sure.
Because that's the one everybody knows. And I'll be honest, that's the one that made me go, oh, who is this? Because I saw it on MTV when I was, I don't know, junior high maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a burgeoning little skater kid who was a terrible skateboarder, but, I wanted to be cool. So that's what I was trying to do. And I heard Punk Rock Girl. And then I started looking for other things by them. And there was so much stuff that came up. But one of the songs that came up with was Instant Club hit, You'll Dance to Anything.
Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar a little bit with that one.
And the lyrics are, I don't want to say it's kind of like a family affair because it's definitely not as legendary of a song. It's like, oh yeah, when you think of It's a Family Affair by the Sly and the Family Stone, and
they're equals.
And then automatically you go to Instant Club hit, You'll Dance to Anything.
Right.
I mean, I think if you were going to go to a Dead Milkmen song, that would be on the equivalent. I can't even believe I'm making this equivalency. Would be like Bitchin' Camaro. That was that's their underground one, but everybody knows it, right?
Yep.
So
that's true.
So, and I didn't really have lyrics, but if you just go by their song titles, Bitchin' Camaro, Punk Rock Girl, Methodist Coloring Book, Stewart, shoot, what were some of the other ones? Smoking Banana Peels. That was a big one.
Oh yeah.
Smoking Banana Peels sounds
I remember seeing these song titles, not necessarily playing them a lot, but I remember seeing them and giggling that they were a weird band.
Yeah,
but that's definitely a band. Had I not worked at Radio X, I would have never experienced them.
Really? You never knew those?
No.
You never knew the Dead Milkmen? Wow.
No, I never did. And that's the great thing about working at college radio is you are forced into being exposed to things you would have never heard before.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't get away from it.
Let's just go with, here's some of their lyrics that I'll let you decide if it's Drunk Genius or what was the other one? Drunk Genius or High. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Don't try to tell me that you're intellectual because you're just another boring bisexual. I met Andy Warhol at a really chic party. Blow it out your hairdo because you work at Hardee's. 80 pounds of makeup on your art school skin. 80 points of IQ located within. And know what you are?
Drunk.
You're a bunch of, and now I'm not going to say this next part because it was okay to say this back then, but you really can't yell it now. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll just edit point and move on to the next one.
I'm going to say drunk.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with drunk and high.
Drunk and high. Okay.
Little, maybe, I don't know if genius, that doesn't really fit there, but the one particular song that I played by them all the time at Radio X that I would play. And I don't know, I guess it made me feel cool or whatever. I just like the song it was called The Blues Song.
I don't think I know that one.
Off Stoney's Extra Stout.
I don't think I know that. I might know if I heard it, but I don't think I don't remember that one.
It's it's
sing it.
Sing it.
Play it on bass.
Well, you're gonna have to wait a minute because I got to go hook the bass up. But let's see. Let me find some good lyrics from this one. Okay, here we go. You can burn down the orphanage, baby, over there on the poor side of town.
Wow.
You can go to the circus, baby, frightening the elephants. See if you can get them to maybe trample a clown. You can
Wow.
steal the prize out of my box of cereal, baby, and replace it with a rat. You can walk up to someone who might be a little overweight and be kind of sensitive about it and say, "Oh my God, you're really fat."
I'm kind of leaning towards genius.
It was a great song, and it's I wish we could play it, but I can't because
Yeah, of course.
money.
I was listening to a podcast this week, and we can talk about this in a minute, but because I went overboard on listening to podcasts this week, I did a bunch of reviews and listened to a bunch of shows, but there was one that was playing like 2 or 3 seconds of a song, and they were like, here's this song, and they would play a little bit and be like, okay, that's about all we can get away with. Like, they're really towing the line on what's allowed and what isn't. So I feel like we should just do that too.
Yeah, well, you and I had kind of talked about it, and I'm like, well, what are they going to do? Sue people who don't have anything? Here, you can have 30% of my nothing. Enjoy it.
But they might take your Darth Vader statue.
Nobody takes my Darth Vader statue.
So they were playing little tiny snippets, like less than 3 seconds of songs, just to give people a little taste of what they were talking about. We might consider doing that in the future.
We could. And
but I have
one last tie-in.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like what you were talking about with this. And as I was thinking about this week, the Dead Milkmen actually showed up on another podcast I was listening to, just like you were talking about.
Really?
I was listening to Going Off Track. And they were talking to one of the artists, and she was from Philadelphia, and they asked her to rate her Mount Rushmore of Philadelphia groups.
Okay.
And the Dead Milkmen are from Philadelphia, and they showed up on the Mount Rushmore of Philadelphia groups.
Wait a minute. Who else was? Okay, wait. Let me just guess. I did not listen to the podcast.
You will never get this, but for it.
Let me guess. Hall & Oates.
Ooh, they made the cut, but they weren't on it.
The Roots.
They were on it. Good job.
Damn, that's all I got.
Oh man, you got to think a little Quiet Storm.
Wait. Boys II Men? Weren't they Philadelphia?
They were on it. There was a little bit of discussion on should they have been on there because the song Motown Philly is like everywhere.
Right.
But
they're not from Philadelphia.
Now you got to understand that the people on this show are like indie pop and hardcore and I'm
going to say like Daryl Hall, John Oates, and Daryl Hall twice.
No, it was the groups that were on there was the ones that stick out just because this always cracks me up because it's a joke, but they're serious, is Teddy Pendergrass showed up.
I should have got that.
Teddy Pendergrass, Jill Scott, and Erykah Badu, and the Roots.
Interesting.
And
okay.
And Meek Mill. Meek Mill was another one. I don't know if they were serious or joking when they brought up Meek Mill, but they did. And I can't. They did bring up Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and the Fresh Prince, but the one co-host is like, they're from Philadelphia.
For real? I thought that was just the show was from Philadelphia. Was he really from Philadelphia?
They're actually from Philadelphia.
Oh boy.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And they're like, well, I think Will Smith has made enough money. He doesn't need to be on our Mount Rushmore.
He could actually make an actual Mount Rushmore if he wanted to and put his own face on it. Yeah.
But the person that they were interviewing who was from Philadelphia at that point in time was, I don't remember her name, but the group that she fronts is called Kississippi. And they're very indie pop and they're very good. So go check them out. Yeah,
I'm making a note.
Like Mississippi, but with Kississippi.
I get it.
Oh, in case you didn't, I had to explain.
So my next high drunk or genius, I already know the answer going in because it's well documented, but I just want to give you a juxtaposition of two artists who were very drunk most of the time and how they interpreted the same song. Okay, so this
two artists who are very drunk most of the time, how they interpreted the song.
You're familiar with Van Morrison?
Yes.
His song, Gloria. I feel like John Lee Hooker may have done it first. I can't remember, but I know Van Morrison made it famous. You know the song, like to tell you about my baby. You know, she comes around, is about 5'4" from her head to the ground.
Gloria.
Gloria. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Van Morrison sings it the way I did. She comes around here just about midnight. She makes me feel so good. Lord, she makes me feel all right. And her name is Glori. Gloria. Glory. That's all I'm going to sing for you. So that's a good song. It's a classic rock song. The Doors covered it.
They did?
From one drunk to another.
Yeah, definitely.
This is how Jim Morrison performed the same song. Okay, I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to sing it, but I might do some of his inflections, so bear with me. Did you hear about my baby? She come around here, the head to the ground. She come around here just about midnight. She makes me feel so good, make me feel all right. So far, it's pretty close to the original. Then he says, he continues, she come around my street now. She come to my house. She knock upon my door. Climbing up my stairs, 1, 2. Come on, baby. Here she is in my room. Hey, what's your name? How old are you? Where'd you go to school?
Oh, boy.
Yeah?
Get some weird vibes now.
And then he continues, yeah. Oh, Well, now that we know each other a little bit better, why don't you come over here and make me feel all right? Gloria. Now, so he just kind of went off the range for most of that verse, but it was still really cool. Like and that was a song that I was familiar with, the Van Morrison song, but the Doors version I didn't hear until I went to Radio X, and a buddy of mine used to play it all the time because we just thought it was so funny that he was just like, hey, what's your name? How old are you? Where'd you go to school? And he's just making up his own stuff as he goes along. And he doesn't get to the Gloria part for it's probably with the instrumental portions and with him adding lyrics, it's probably a good 2 or 3 minutes before he gets to this part of the song that everybody actually knows. And I don't know if that's drunk or genius, because from one aspect, he's making it his own, right? I mean, he's doing his own thing, but it's nonsense. I mean, it's weird for him to just kind of wing it like that, right?
It is weird, but it's also Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
So it's not weird because you remember he is the Lizard King.
Exactly. Well, then he continues, you were my queen and I was your fool, riding home after school. You took me home to your house. Your father's at work. Your mama's out shopping around. Check me into your room. Show me your thing. Why'd you do it, baby? Like he's not even sure why she's doing this. And then he continues.
As a father, I have so many issues I probably never had before with this song now.
Getting softer, slow it down, softer, get it down. Now you show me your thing, wrap your legs around my neck, wrap your arms around my feet. Yeah. Wrap your hair around my skin. I know.
Wow.
And this is all, and you're like, did he change songs? Is he singing the same song? And so then he's all right, come on now, let's get it on. Too late. Can't stop. And then he busts right back into Make Me Feel All Right. And then the band thankfully says, Gloria. And they bring it all back to the.
Is it like a Mercy Gloria?
It must be. Like, I think.
Please stop, Jim.
And if you saw the Doors movie, right?
Nope, never seen it.
Oh my gosh, you have to see it. But it made me it reinforced the idea that band was so talented and they just desperately clung to, we just have to keep the music going while this guy does whatever he does. And we try to rein him back into some sort of a song here and there, but we just got to do some drum fills. We got to do some keyboard solos. We got to just keep the music going because we have no idea what this guy is going to do. And then they're just like, all right, where's a good time? Everybody, what should we do Gloria after he talks about going into, okay, let's do it. Gloria. And then it all comes back together. It's gotta be kind of genius because and I'm not a musician, but if I were in a band and my singer just completely went off the reservation and started ranting and ad-libbing lyrics, I wouldn't know what the hell to do. I would just stop playing, I think. You know,
No, that's
like,
where you just sit in the pocket and you just keep playing it over and over again
right. And
until
they,
you,
and
like
they
they
were
did,
great
like
at
you find a
that.
spot.
And they were great at that. And every member of that band, you can hear in songs like Gloria and I mean, even in some of their much more popular songs, you can hear them obviously just saying, we're just along for this ride. Like, we're going to keep stuff going because we're good at what we're doing, but we really have no control over what's going to happen next. And I think that's gotta be genius with a lot of drunk.
You're
It's gotta
not
be.
putting high in there at all?
Well, okay, yes.
Why are you leaving high out of the mix?
Okay, it's a trifecta. It's all three. But I think that, you know, with a band like the Doors, they were solid musicians. Like, all of them were great at what they were doing. I mean, obviously Jim Morrison was great at just lyrics and kind of roping in an audience, but the band,
he was more performer than musician.
Yeah, but they were, you know, they were so good at being surrounding him with a safe place to experiment vocally and lyrically and musically, that I think that they had enough genius that he could be as drunk and high as he wanted to, and they would always keep it going. You know?
Yes, I can agree with that.
So I'm going to say it's a trifecta: drunk, high, genius.
Yeah, and like we said, I think a lot of these songs are going to hit the mark on all three in one way, shape, or form.
Maybe,
especially
yes.
when you're in that 60s rock era,
yeah,
where I'm fairly certain everybody was drunk and high, and a vast majority of them, I wouldn't say a lot of them were very much geniuses, especially in that world when measured today.
Right, for sure. I agree. But there are definitely some that are leaning much more towards drunk or much more towards high. And they have just enough smattering of genius to get by.
Right. Well, and so I've got one that is going to definitely fit in one of the categories.
Okay.
Because when you get the name of the song, you're going to go, yep, fits right there. But there might be more to it. It's Burn One Down by Ben Harper.
Oh, so definitely high.
Definitely high.
I feel like that's a given.
But, you know, working in the college radio world, that was, you know, Burn One Down. And, you know, of course, it's college kids, so weed.
Yeah, right.
And that was
if you don't like my fire, then don't come around.
Exactly. Herb's a gift from the earth. And what's from the earth is of the greatest worth. So before you knock it, try it first. Oh, you'll see it's a blessing and it's not a curse. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, because I'm going to burn one down. Yes, definitely. I'm going to burn one down.
But I don't know. Okay, so no disrespect to Ben Harper, but I don't know that there's a lot of genius. Like, those aren't like thought-provoking lyrics. They're pretty standard.
Oh, but I bet you he thought they were thought-provoking.
Okay, if you were in a particular mindset, you would say, dude, this is the most profound song I've ever heard.
Yep.
Because he's saying, if you don't like my fire,
you know, man, my fire, you know, like,
I'm not,
I'm not talking about what I use to light the bowl. I'm talking about my fire,
my inner fire, me. Can't you see my fire within?
Shh, hold on. My mom's coming down the hallway. Hold on. Shh, be cool. No, Mom, we're just in here. No, we're not burning one down. No, it's just a metaphor for things. Okay, I think she left. So yeah, my fire. I don't know where you're getting those bong noises from, but that's perfect. I couldn't hold it together.
I was just sipping some hibiscus tea.
I was like, I know you. You do not have. I'm like, how's he making that noise? Does he realize he's doing it on purpose?
Yeah, I just had it handy for such an occasion.
Let me get out my hookah here.
If you don't like my fire, then just don't come around. Because I've got to burn one down.
Yeah.
I've got to be me, man.
Yeah, because my choice is what I choose to do.
Okay, so that's just
That's me, bro. It's me. I burn one down. It's me.
but there's nothing smart about my choice is what I choose to do.
No. And if I'm causing no harm, it shouldn't bother you, man.
Exactly.
I don't know what your problem is. Your choice is what you choose to be.
Yeah.
Square.
Square.
And if you're causing no harm, then you're all right with me. You could be a square because I'm here to burn one down.
So I think we're safely in the high category.
Oh yeah. I'm high just from saying the lyrics to that song. I could definitely place and time. I can definitely smell that song.
Yes. Indeed.
Borderline taste it in the air.
Yeah. That's a good song though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. And again, any of these songs that we put into a high or drunk or whatever category doesn't mean we don't like the songs, because I really like that song, but definitely had some, I think they were under an influence when he was writing it. Yeah, for sure.
So
that's, there's another band, 311.
No,
I'm not a huge fan of them, but I feel like they made sure to be completely high before they started writing music. I think that was like a prerequisite, that we're going to make sure we're high no matter what.
Because amber is the color of your aura. Or I was never a big 311 fan. All I remember from 311, I'm not all I remember, but what sticks out the most to me about 311 is not even a 311 song, but it's a song about 311.
Oh, really?
I won't say their name because I can't do it. But do you remember the band AC?
Yeah. Yep. We've talked about them before.
Oh, and
we've never said their name, but we've talked about them before.
The song 311 sucks.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Whenever I think of 311, that's the song I think of.
Yes. Oh, poor 311. They did a couple covers that are good, but they didn't write them.
They're a good band. It's just was not my cup of tea.
Yeah. What was okay, so jeez, I'm having a moment here. Who sang In the End? What's that band called?
Oh, oh my gosh, I literally was listening to this song in the car earlier. I had the first album. The album's called Linkin Park.
Thank
Park.
you.
It was
Linkin
on Hybrid.
Park. There we go. I kept wanting to say Limp Bizkit, and I knew it wasn't Limp Bizkit, but
it's funny you mentioned Limp Bizkit. Hold on to that one.
But okay, but Linkin Park, I have a theory, and this is completely off topic, but I have a theory that Linkin Park, well, it doesn't hold water now because unfortunately one of them passed away, but back when they were both popular, my theory was Linkin Park was 311 when they ran out of weed. Because it was two dudes, right? Basically two dudes. One was the rapper, one was the screamer.
There was a full band.
Band. But I mean, I'm talking vocalists. There was two vocalists.
Yeah, Chester Bennington and the other guy.
Yeah, and one would do Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, right? Mike Shinoda.
So one would do the rapping and one would do the either singing or screaming, and they would alternate back and forth. Now, with 311, it was always super mellow and melodic and happy, and the Linkin Park was always angry and screaming and emotional.
Yeah.
And they were popular around the same time. But so I had a theory that 311 would smoke down, sing some mellow songs, then they would run out of weed, and then they would start doing angry music, and that was Linkin Park. So anyway, that was my story in college. Yeah.
Wow.
You never saw them in the same place at the same time.
I can't believe you spent that much time thinking about that. See, because I don't like 311, but I like Linkin Park.
So was I high, drunk, or genius when I thought of that?
I'm going to give you, since I know you, I'm going to go with, we'll just go straight up genius on that
Thank
one.
you.
That's a good theory. Oh, you need to save that one. That we can make a music conspiracy out of that.
We could.
That's
true. We could make people believe that is an actual thing that happened.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to work out the details with that.
Yeah.
Do you have another band or song?
I have one thing to say about Linkin Park, though.
Okay, let's hear it.
My dog's name is Chester.
Nice. I knew that.
And he is named because of Chester Bennington from
Really?
Linkin Park. Yes. Because my my person of interest, Amy,
Yeah.
really likes Linkin Park.
Nice.
And so that's where my dog got his name. And you didn't even
Aw.
know that. That was not planned.
I didn't know that. I knew that your dog was named Chester. I didn't know the backstory. I thought it was from Chester Cheetah.
No. Yes, my little white floofy dog is named after a yellow, popcorn toting cheetah.
Yeah.
No.
Right. My dog is named the Noid.
My dog is the unhigh version of 311.
Oh, so you had something about Limp Bizkit?
Oh, yes, I have something about Limp Bizkit. I can't believe I'm going to do Limp Bizkit before Prince.
Nice. Prince is a good way to wrap things. Like, that's a nice, you want to end on a high note.
And my Prince is a specific moment in time, and you could do Drunk Higher Genius. We all know it's going to end up at Genius, but
Well, yeah. Okay.
yeah. So, and actually you were a part of this one.
Well, then I already know the drunk was you. The genius was Prince, and the lady who would sing that at the wash tub, that we would always make her sing Purple Rain.
Nope. This is different.
Damn.
It's along the same lines, but it's different.
Okay, we'll get there.
So, and I am going to get filleted by anybody we know who listen, because all of our, I wouldn't say all, but many of our friends who were Radio X folks,
Mm-hmm.
if they're even still listening to us anymore, I hope they are, but.
Let me stop you right there. I was
Okay.
thinking we should do something to kind of test who still listens, because we get a good amount of downloads every episode. So thank you all for listening and for downloading. And, but we don't really always get like feedback from specific people. So all we get is that list of cities that have downloaded. So I feel like we should plant something somewhere in this episode to say, if you tweet us Fidelio or something, then we will know that you actually listened to this episode. And we're not going to promote it. We're not going to tell anyone, hey, there's a secret word. But if somebody hears it and they tweet us or say it on Instagram or they put it on the Facebook page, we'll know that they're
like for instance, if I said, if you tweet us 5 Iron Frenzy, I know you are listening to the podcast.
Yes. And
because
we'll
there's
send you a useless prize.
Matt will send you a useless prize.
The first 5 people who say 5 Iron Frenzy to us on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook will get some sort of useless prize. I'm already writing out the envelope for Doc right now. So the remaining 4 people who tell us 5 Iron Frenzy will get a useless prize.
And I said that because of a particular person who introduced me to that band.
Ah, okay, cool. Excellent.
And I know they listen. So I just want to see if they listen this far into the episode.
Perfect. All right.
So-
So anyway, continue with your song.
So now that we did that, and I'm going to go from 5 Iron Frenzy to Limp Bizkit.
Nice.
Yeah. Get ready. Because you're going to think I'm a genius here in a minute.
Okay. I
The
already
song Break Stuff.
I like that song. I don't want to like it, but I do like it.
You do like it. Oh,
I don't
I was
want
on the
to.
fence. I didn't want to either, but there's something about the moment in time when that song came out
Yeah.
and
Right.
the general attitude. I guess you could say that attitude still exists.
The world kind of needed it at the time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's kind of that late 20s, you're an adult, but you're not totally adulting yet, because when
Mhm.
you're in your late 20s, you're still pretending you're 18. I mean, I'm 46. I'm still pretending I'm 22.
It's hard to remember. Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
remember sometimes that we're old.
And, and you still get that feeling, and you might not be in your total career yet that you want to do. And you're probably working with people that suck that you didn't want to be around to begin with. And you just get that feeling. I
Yeah.
mean, I just got to get to I pulled up the lyrics here.
Yeah.
When he gets to the bridge, he's like, I
Mhm.
feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance, because right now I'm dangerous, as he said. We've all felt like shit and been treated like shit. And all those motherfuckers that want to step up, I hope you know I hope you know I pack a chainsaw. I'll skin your ass raw. And if
Yeah.
my day keeps going this way, I just might break something tonight. And then he goes on and on and on and on. And then he gets to the part, how about I break your fucking face tonight? Give me something to break. And then it's just like, and you're angry, and then you're in trouble.
Genius,
no,
it's good. It's fun.
The lyrics aren't genius.
No.
The music's not even really genius. But how Fred Durst and that group parlayed themselves into what they ended up getting was totally genius.
I think that's fair.
He did, and a lot of people are like, oh, I can't even believe you're giving him credit. All the the music snobs will get all crazy if they hear this.
Yep.
But it's true.
Yeah, they owned for at least a couple years. They were huge, and they did that Mission Impossible theme that was probably one of the more cool redos of the Mission Impossible theme. When I think it was Mission Impossible 2.
I don't remember. I can honestly say I've never seen. I actually walked out of Mission Impossible 1. I didn't like it that much.
What the hell?
Yep.
Really?
For real.
And you've never seen the Doors movie?
No, I've never seen the Doors movie either.
So weird.
I have been to a movie theater. Trust me. I swear to God.
So if you and here's where I'm going to get skewered online. If you take something like a Limp Bizkit, not like a literal Limp Bizkit, but if you take the band Limp Bizkit and you give them an injection, if you could inject them with genius, who would you end up with? I already know my answer, but if you could stick a needle full of genius, if you could vaccinate them with genius, who would they be?
And cure all their non-genius.
Yeah. If you could take that sound and that blending of kind of like new metal, rap, hardcore, like what would you end up with if you gave them just again, not to say this term again, but if you could give them a super soldier serum of musical genius, what would you have?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm supposed to know this and I'm totally whiffing. I got nothing on this one.
Rage
caught me off guard. Shut up. Really?
Think about it. So they had part rap, part singing, part anger, rage. They had kick-ass guitar. They had some turntable artwork going on. I think that but they didn't have the genius. And Rage Against the Machine, both the singer and the guitar player had, in my opinion, musical genius, and that made them. And if you listen to what their lyrics, it makes Rage Against the Machine make me feel dumb. Like if you hear what they're singing about in like a song that sounds like not necessarily a party anthem, but like a song that you're grooving to, and you're like, oh yeah, I feel good. This is rocking. They're talking about apartheid, and they're talking about people who are homeless, and it's so rich with narrative and with anger and sort of political upheaval and things like that, and it's so smart, but it rocks. Did you remember that TikTok thing I sent you? Did you actually look at that? The guy, yes, people have seen this, but it's this guy.
No, wait.
There's this guy, and you'll have to Google it because I don't really know how to find it, but there's a guy who's does a TikTok, and it's like listening to Rage Against the Machine, Freedom, for the first time in 1993 or whenever it came out, and he talks to himself, and he's basically like, hey man, this song rocks, could it rock any harder? And then he says to himself, just wait. And then of course it rocks even harder, and it's a hilarious video. But anyway, I got way off topic, but I will stand by, if you injected say 30 ounces of genius, 100 ounces of genius into Limp Bizkit, you would have something like Rage Against the Machine.
The genius of Limp Bizkit, this is where I'll give them some genius.
Okay.
Was marketing and timing. They nailed it. They nailed it.
I'll give you that. Yeah, for sure.
And
they did a good Wham cover too.
Oh yeah, George Michael. Come on now.
Thank you, George Michael. You're right.
Well, and there's part of the marketing genius. How do I become famous? Well, let's take this song and make it rock.
Yes.
And they hit like right at that moment in time. And then they were on MTV and they blew up a ship. And remember that?
I do now. Yeah.
And then, and then they were in all of the cultural zeitgeist of all the things that were going on with Carson Daly and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all of these things. And it was lightning in a bottle, and kudos to them for catching it. You can make fun of their music all you want.
Yeah. You can't hate on them for what they did.
a lot of the artistic indie folks would give their left foot for a quarter of the press that they got.
All right, so marketing genius. That's fair.
I'll give them marketing genius. They're great musicians. Like the guys in the band are very good, and Fred Durst is just good enough to make the whole circus work. And that's in life. Sometimes that's all you got to be.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Because, man, whatever. If you don't understand, I'm just going to burn one down. Listen to my Limp Bizkit.
Wouldn't it be fascinating if it turned out Fred Durst had like a 5-octave vocal range and he was like classically trained as an opera singer?
I think that was. I think that's one of the side effects if he gets the COVID vaccine. That's what's going to happen to him.
Nice.
Like we all going to
get their next album.
Yeah, nanobots and superpowers from getting the COVID vaccine. Fred Durst will get a 5-octave range.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
What else you got, Chase?
Feel free to edit some of that out if you'd like.
No, I love it. It's all staying in.
All right. So my next one, and this might be my last one, and it kind of encompasses a couple different things.
Okay.
That you and I have all been big fan, that we've been fans of
in
life. It has to do with 1, Canada. 2,
what?
Smokey Robinson. And 3, Prince. Do you remember any of this?
I remember. Okay. Do you want me to say the parts I remember, or do you want to tell the story? I remember we went to go see Smokey Robinson in Canada.
Okay.
Which was awesome.
That part. No, we did not see him in Canada. We saw him in the Sioux. But we went to Canada.
You're right. It was in Michigan. Yeah.
So, all right. So I'll tell the story since you're not going to get it right.
Jeez. No, I won't.
So I think we either earned, won, or stole tickets to see Smokey Robinson at the casino in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Yep.
So, and you and I are both big Motown fans, and growing up in Michigan, you're given the opportunity, you got to go see Smokey, right?
Oh,
even if his whole concert is just a giant medley,
right?
I don't think he did one
complete
song. It was still great. I mean, it's Smokey Robinson. How can it not be?
Mm-hmm.
And so we go there, and Matt doesn't drink, but Jace does.
True.
So Jace does what Jace does, and Jace drinks.
When Matt, in Rome.
When Jace, you drink, especially at that point in his life. And so you were driving, and we decided that, well, we're in Sault Ste. Marie, and Sault Ste. Marie, Canada is just over the border.
Exactly.
When in the Sioux, you go across the border and you go to Studio 10.
Of course you do. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it was called Studio 10. I think so. Because
it was a strip club.
Yeah, it was. Don't tell anybody. It was adult entertainment.
Yes.
And so we decided that that's what we were going to do. Okay, cool. So we go across the border. This gets to a point, folks.
Okay.
And it's a musical point, I guess. So we go to the border, and that's this point in time, you could just go. You didn't have to have a passport or anything like that. It
was pre 9/11.
You just showed them your license, and they ask you a few questions. Sometimes they would search your car, sometimes not. So Matt's driving, and we pull up to the border guards, and I'm a sheet and a half, 2 sheets to the wind at that point. And so the border guard, it's a lady asking.
You have a great memory.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have this memory, and I was, pretty much 2 sheets to the wind at this point. And she's like, "So, what are you guys doing?" Automatically thinking we're young and we're going to Canada to drink, because in Canada you can drink when you're younger than in the States,
right?
And Matt's like, "No, we're going to do something." I don't remember what you said we were doing, and I was like, "Yeah, because we're old enough to drink in the States. We're going to the strip club." And Matt's just kind of buries his face in his hands. drives away hoping that they don't, and they didn't pull us over.
No.
They didn't search the car, but she looked very nonplussed with me
Yeah.
after yelling that out the window at her.
Did she think we were going to go visit her family?
At the strip club? No, I hope not. That's a weird story right there.
It is.
That never happened. So we get into Canada and we're trying to figure out where this place is. We couldn't find it. So we literally had to stop at a gas station.
Idea. We knew it was in the city somewhere.
We stopped at a gas station and I went in and asked, so where's the strip club? And they told me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people ask this all the time. You go down here, make a left, and go over here. So we end up going.
Yeah.
We get there, and Miss Nude, do you remember Miss Nude Canada was there?
I don't remember that.
You don't
Which is
remember the
weird
fire?
because- What? There was a fire?
Yeah,
No.
I don't want to get too graphic, but let's just say
Oh,
there was fire and body parts. We'll just go with that.
And I didn't even drink, and I don't remember this at all.
How do you not remember this? Either
I
that or I
don't
was
know.
so drunk I made this all up.
I don't know.
Both are possible. But no, there was fire. We'll just say there were tricks and
Nice.
fire was used. But there was a certain Prince song that was played, and it wasn't Miss Nude Canada that played this song.
Okay.
She did the standards like girls, 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 and things like that, which
Classics.
actually was on my drunk, genius, or high list. But I'll
Drunk
skip that one. Yeah.
and high.
But the song Pussy Control by Prince, a dancer song came on. I cannot hear that song without seeing that exact
Oh,
moment in
that's
time.
so funny. I mean, I get it. That's so funny, though.
Isn't it? Though?
Wow. Man, I couldn't. And it is, and I talk to you about this all the time. And I talk to my high school friends about this all the time, that it's so weird what things in my brain refuse to leave, even if I wish they would, and what things just are completely gone. Like, I can't remember the order of like people I went out with in like junior high through high school into college. I need to have somebody tell me.
Wow,
just
you were
don't
that
remember-
big of a pimp, huh?
No, because I was like serial monogamous, but it was just, I just don't remember.
Dude, don't say stuff like that when I'm trying to take a drink of water.
I just don't like it. I don't know. That stuff is, especially when you talk about like chronological order of things, I've lost all of that. But then I remember specific things so well that they will never leave my brain, and they're relatively useless. Like, I will remember for the rest of my life when the Black Crowes released their Southern Harmony and Musical Companion CD. They played it from front to back on this, I think it was a Windsor, Detroit rock station. It was like you could hear it from Detroit, but it was
Was
like
it 89X?
I think so, yeah. And they debuted it on that station, played it front to back, the whole album, and I sat and listened, and I recorded it on cassette tape. And I remember vividly sitting there and recording that. It doesn't have any relevance to anything in my life at all, but I will always remember that moment. And I always remember when I was in high school, I had to read Jurassic Park for an English class. And I remember listening to R.E.M's Out of Time when I was reading Jurassic Park, because there's a line in one of the songs where he says those creatures jumped the barricades and headed to the sea. And I was like, well, this is fortuitous, because I'm reading about creatures that jump barricades and headed to the sea. And every time I hear that song, I always think of Jurassic Park, and I always think of high school. So those things are stuck in my brain forever. But then there are other things that I'd be like, well, it would be nice to remember this fact, and I have no recollection of it. It's just weird how the brain works.
It is weird because I have, specific, like I can't tell you the stuff I was supposed to remember from high school.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell you why the Humpty Dance was one of the most important songs for my high school career.
What?
Yeah. And
The most important?
one of, not the,
Wow.
one of the most important. And I was a total metalhead. But
Yeah.
that song, because
Wait, we have
My-
to pour out some 40 for Shakji.
yes,
Rest
we
in
do.
peace.
Well, and
Go ahead.
we just had actually myself and one of my friend Matt, my other friend Matt, the guy who hosts Your Sunday Drive.
Oh, yeah.
him and I, well, we've been friends, we've known each other since like kindergarten, first grade time period. Anyways, we did a mock rock in high school. We essentially recreated the video for the Humpty Dance.
Wow.
He was Humpty Hump.
Mm-hmm.
I was DJ Fuse. Cool. We had guys in trench coats dancing. They threw down smoke bombs. Like, wow. and I had the turntable on a chain. I don't think it was a chain. I think it was a belt, but we tried to make it a chain.
Okay.
And like Matt had the nose, the glasses, the cigar, the whole thing. He had the whole thing done. We actually got to the point where we had, he must have known him because I met him through him. We had 4 dancers show up. They weren't kids that we went to high school with. They like were cool kids who worked at the mall at like the cool stores.
Yeah.
We had like girls in tube dresses. And that's not just awesome. Regular high school girls, like hot mall girls.
Wow.
And these two other guys, they were like doing the dance from the video. And the girls were just, being eye candy on the side.
Of course.
Like we were talking about this and Matt's like, dude, being our age now, so we would be the people who were the chaperones at that.
Yeah.
Like, how did they let that happen?
Oh no, exactly. So much got through those talent shows that you would think this is insane that's happening right now.
And then the biggest highway robbery of musical history of all time, even more than you're being mad about Machine Gun Kelly won Best Alternative Album this year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Was that we didn't win.
You didn't win?
No. We didn't.
What won?
It was either these 3 girls doing Supersonic by JJ Fad.
Oh, I've seen many talent shows. That was like every talent show.
Yeah.
In that era, I think there were at least, my gosh.
Or it was like the 5 popular guys who were like wrestler, jock dudes, football players who did Ice Ice Baby.
Jeez.
It was one of those 2. I don't remember. Like we were just
a popularity contest.
Yeah, we were so far ahead of our time. But like, how do you not? Like, we had hot mall chicks. How do you not win with that? Just boom, right there. Forget us. We had.
That's a crime. Can you get that group together again and recreate the recreation?
That would be something. That would totally be something.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, I know if Matt hears this, he'd be like, "Dude, seriously, did you just tell that story?"
He'll love it. See, the thing is, like, if it weren't for you and Sluice and Doc and my friend Ben from high school, I wouldn't remember anything. Like, I have to ask you guys all the time. Those 4 people are my what do you call it? Phone a friend for literally everything in my history. I have to say, hey. And I was doing that this evening, just before we started the show. I was like, hey, do you remember when I used to blah, blah? And they were like, oh God, I'm sure I can almost feel their eye rolls because I do it all the time. But yeah, I've lost so many things, and the weirdest stuff just decides to stay in there like food stuck in your teeth.
Yeah. So you kind of got a twofer there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, had we talked about that mock rock thing before? I feel like we talked about that.
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever heard.
Maybe it was probably Matt and I talking about it. Yeah. And oh, dude, it was a whole thing. Like, we couldn't even drive yet. We weren't even 16.
That's awesome.
And I will give the credit where credit is due. Matt put a vast majority of it together. And like usual, I was like his hype man. I was like, yeah, that's what's happening. Let's do it. And we did. And it was badass. And I wish there was video of it somewhere. And once again, we go back to, how did the chaperones let that happen?
I think they just didn't know. I think when you say to chaperones, we're doing the Humpty Dance, then they're thinking, oh, it's like a nursery rhyme or something. This will be wholesome.
Come on, dude.
They won't know.
They weren't that far out of touch. They had a radio.
I don't know.
I'd probably be surprised.
Thinking back, now that you mention it, thinking back on the talent shows that I either participated in or watched when I was in junior high and high school, there were people who did things that should not have happened to young, impressionable junior high and high school kids.
Yep.
I'm not even going to go into it, but it's inappropriate. And maybe that's just us being old, but it's it's crazy what we could do back then that now
Yeah.
I think everyone's a little super sensitive.
That's what TikTok's for. You can't do it at school anymore. You
That's
just do it on
true.
TikTok.
Do it on TikTok. Everything's
Yeah.
safe there.
So back to our whole thing. Now that we've totally, went around 17 city blocks to get back
that's
to where
weird.
we're at.
That's unusual. We've never done that before.
But so Pussy Control by Prince.
Yes.
Drunk, high, or genius?
You know what? Here's the thing. Okay, so Prince, I love Prince, and I want to say that everything he does is genius.
Because it is, but continue.
However, I think that, okay, so Albert Einstein every once in a while probably told a stupid joke, or he probably, misspoke someone's name, or like even the geniusest of geniuses has output that may not be considered genius. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think that he is definitely a genius. I don't know that Pussy Control would be considered genius songwriting. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to go with, because the funny thing is that song is and is not what you think it is all at the same time. Because people hear the title of it, Pussy Control, it's just about guys, but it's not. It's kind of a woman's power song.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
It's probably a derogatory way to get around to, the idea of, have some control. You have the power, have the control.
I know, but and I don't have lyrics in front of me. I'm trying to remember I know that at some point he's doing like a nursery rhyme, a tisket, a tasket, something. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I think, okay, I'm just going to be safe and say genius, but I feel like he's definitely crafted better songs, both lyrically and musically. This would be in my opinion, this would be his song version of naming someone Vagina.
And I wasn't even trying to make that connection, but good job.
This is his song Vagina.
I can agree with you. It's probably a stretch to call it a genius song because there's so many other super awesome. Just Purple Rain is in my opinion, a masterpiece of pop rock.
A masterpiece. And I think you could probably list 30 songs of his that were genius before even getting to Pussy Control. I think that you could easily name 30. And there are very few artists who have 30 good songs, and you could name 30 of his that are definitely genius.
But this is probably not one.
I don't think so. I don't know. But
I'm going to
tweet us your comments. I'm sure people will disagree, but I don't think so.
We didn't say it to get you to disagree, but think about it.
It's a good song.
We can be wrong. We're not, but we could be wrong once in a while.
If it's playing, I'm not turning it off.
But like I said, when the whole story of this, we can argue drunk, high, or genius. Mm-hmm. But the whole story is I can place it at a certain moment in time.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. That makes you think of that moment.
Yeah. And the fortunate or unfortunate part is one, my mother will listen to this, so I'm going to have some explaining to do.
And
my dad will listen to this.
You've ever been to a strip club?
None. My dad will listen to this and laugh. And then my daughter will listen to this and say, Daddy? And that's where the fun starts.
Just tell him I made you go. I dragged you there. You were like, Matthew, I would prefer not to see a disrobed female.
That's right. I would just like to sit here and watch Masterpiece Theater while
perhaps there's a library that we could visit instead. And I said, nope. We're going to Studio 10.
That's right. Get your loonies. We're about to have fun.
And
don't you remember the discussion there? Was like, all right, how do we tip with?
I feel like we lost all our money.
We did. We lost all our money.
I remember that because we were like, hey, the exchange rate's crazy. We can spend all this money, and we spent literally all our money.
Yeah,
because
we're
we didn't
kings here.
realize
We came with American money, and God, we were dumb.
Making memories.
Yep, but that's exact moment in time. But and since I brought it up, the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground, Drunk, High, or Genius?
High and genius.
High and borderline genius.
75% high, 25% genius.
Because if you go back and listen to that album, Sex Packets, by Digital Underground, that album is front to back great.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
It's one of those ones that you forget how good it is.
Yeah. Were we talking about that several months or even like a year ago? Like there was a Digital Underground album that had like some weird.
It's the second one that came out.
Yeah.
Because they always spelled everything weird. Like Do What You Like was just like one big word.
Yes. That was a good song too. All right. Well, this was fun. This went a lot better than I thought. I thought we were going to be a train wreck, but it would be entertaining for everybody else. But this actually was very smooth.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was a good time. What have you been listening to? Actually, do you want me to tell you what I've been listening to? Because I have a lot.
Go for it. Usually I'm the one who has, all of these things. But if you got it, go for it.
I've been listening to so many podcasts. I have been podcast crazy.
Yeah, I've seen the reviews. You're out there you're hustling it, man.
And for me, I know I have to say there are people on Twitter who listen to like 6 podcasts every single day. So I know compared to them, I'm nothing. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. So I've been listening to Infectious Groove, which is a super fun podcast out of Detroit.
And a super cool funk metal band.
Is it?
Yeah, Infectious Groove.
I didn't know that.
Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies and Robert Trujillo, who is now the bass player for Metallica, but he was the bass player for Suicidal Tendencies. And if I'm not mistaken, the drummer at one point in time was Brooks Wackerman, who was the drummer for Bad Religion and is now the drummer for Avenged Sevenfold. But when he started, he was drumming for them and he was like a teenager. Okay, because they had a song in the Caveman movie with Pauly Shore, Encino Man.
So
the song does.
So the guy on Infectious Groove podcast would probably know all that information as well. He is very. So I listened to an episode that they talked about music snobbery, and it really kind of gave me hope that I am not as much of a music snob as I thought I was. Because they have the main guy, he's got it a lot more than I do as far as like judging people for their musical taste. It was entertaining. So
if he listens to this, he's going to hear my my talk of Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit, and I am going to be judged.
He's judging you. Okay, and that's fine. But no, they're really entertaining, and they have a very well put together podcast that's almost like a radio show, and I'm sure that's by design. But they do like little commercials, and they do breaks, and they have it's a well.
Damn it! That's what I wanted to do.
It's well produced, and there's 3 people, and I didn't take notes on their names, so I apologize if they are listening. I don't remember their names, but the main dude, I see him on Twitter all the time. And they're all really cool, but very, very wide range of musical interests, kind of like us. Like they run the gamut as far as like what types of music they like, and they talk about all types of music. And they review albums, and so the one I listened to was all about music snobbery, and I have inclinations of music snobbery, but I felt a lot better that I wasn't quite as severe after listening to their podcast. So thanks guys for making me feel a little bit better.
So what you're saying is you are a music snob. They're just bigger music snobs, so you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. And I want to make this point though. The podcast is super fun to listen to, and they're definitely not mean-spirited or negative about people's musical taste. They just talk about the fact that yes, this is something that we deal with, that when we have when people say, like, for example, one of the things that he pointed out, when people say, oh, I listen to everything, what kind of music do you like? Oh, I like everything. And he says, no, you don't. And my instinct is to say that. I just would never actually say that. But that's true. Like, and so anyway, regardless, it's a really good podcast. And if you are into podcasts that talk deep about music and can talk very, learnedly about music and different artists and artist histories and things like that, that's a really good one. So then I also listened to the Nostalgia Test, which is, I'm going to definitely listen to more of this because they do a different podcast. Each episode is about a different genre or a different type of music or a different artist or something like that. And then they talk about, does it pass the Nostalgia Test? Like, is it something that you would listen to again on a regular basis? Is it something that you like just for nostalgia purposes, but you wouldn't really normally listen to? And that's such a unique way to think about music that I was really enjoying that concept.
So it would be like if you're programming a radio station, is this just going to be on the currents, but you'll never see it on the recurrent list?
Yeah. Or like, for example, the one that I listened to, they were talking about punk and ska covers. So, I was on board.
Yeah. Because I was, I wouldn't say I got into it, but I commented on that on Twitter about, because I picked the one that was, everybody's like, what? No.
Sure. Exactly. And so I was 100% into the conversation, and I was mowing the lawn and I was yelling out loud, like, no, I think this one. And I was so into it. And they had a singer who was on as a guest, and they were really respectful with the singer, and they were asking his opinion. And it was a great conversation about, these types of songs just kind of exploded in like the mid to late 90s, as far as like punk and ska had that sort of resurgence. I think they called it like the second wave or third wave of ska. And it was really interesting to hear someone else who shared that perspective, because we kind of came up in college radio around that time when like Goldfinger and MXPX and those artists were
with the punk, with the Punk Goes Pop compilations.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so that was a really fun listen. And I'm definitely going to listen to more episodes of theirs, just because I like the idea of, is this song something you would still listen to? Because when you and I started this podcast, I made this playlist on Amazon of college music, and it was all songs that made me think of working at Radio X. And it was songs that I used to play, songs that I heard other people play. And it was just, I built this, and it's like 200 songs or something, but it's music that made me think of that. And for the most part, it was all stuff that I like. But every once in a while, and I still listen to that playlist, there's a song and I'm like, this is purely nostalgia. Like, this isn't a song I would currently listen to, but it's on this list because of nostalgia purposes. It makes me think of that time, but I wouldn't listen to it now. So I experience that on a daily basis when I listen to that mix that I made. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool to hear someone else have that same sort of perspective.
And, it's kind of cool that all of this is popping up right now because, we'll get to that when we talk about the things I've been doing. So continue on. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump.
Okay, no, that's okay. So, and Drunk Theory is a super fun, ridiculous hang. Like, you basically are listening to these people get together and drink and talk about conspiracy theories, and it's just it's so fun, and it's entertaining to hear them. And again, they're people that I chat on Twitter with, and they're really good people, but they have like a themed drink usually. Like, there's something that has to do with what they were making. And so the one I just listened to was, they were talking about broadcast conspiracies, and they had DJ shots. And so they talked about what the shots were, what they were made of. And it's 2 kinds of alcohol. And someone said, I thought there'd be more alcohol. And she said, it's all alcohol. And it was just really funny. And it's all like that. Like, they get drunk, they talk about these conspiracy theories, and each person brings something to the table to discuss. And I was diving down the rabbit hole with them. They talked about this Max Headroom thing in Chicago.
This is the Chicago one. Yep. You've never heard this one?
I hadn't heard about it.
Oh, dude.
And I immediately, I was mowing the lawn, but I immediately went in when I was done mowing the lawn and Googled this video, and thank goodness it still exists on the internet. But I'm not going to get too into it. You should just listen to their podcast to hear about it. But it was ridiculous. And so that's a fun listen to. So that's a podcast that I would recommend if you like just a bunch of people having a fun hang and getting drunk and talking about really interesting subject matter. That would be one to check out.
I love everything you said right there.
I know, conspiracy theories. You should be listening to this one really, because it's everything you love. Everything.
And I've interacted with them a little bit on Twitter. I have not checked out their podcast yet because, like you, I have there's all of these new podcasts I want to listen to, but I also have a laundry list. I'm a creature of habit,
right?
And I have a laundry list of these ones that I'm like, oh, a new one came out. I have to listen to the next one, and I have to listen to the next one, and I have to listen to the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm a Patreon for this one, so I've got to listen to their stuff.
Yeah,
that type of thing, and then. Like we're starting to meet online all of these other indie podcasters,
right?
And they're, so many of them are doing this great stuff,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, somewhere I have to fit in working so I can, keep paying my bills, and being a dad, and being a partner, and listening to all these podcasts, and
exactly. You'll never listen to them all, and then when I saw that. Playlist Wars had one about Motley Crue. I was like, well, Jace has to listen to that because he's going to have an opinion.
Here's the
about
thing
Motley
with
Crue.
Here's the thing with the Playlist Wars ones.
Yeah,
is I'm so mad I did not think of this.
I know. I said the exact same thing. I know, and those guys are really cool. That's another good podcast, and those guys are awesome. So if you are into making playlists about like different artists or different types of music. They thought of it first. So
if they do a Playlist Wars of because I actually put out there, you guys should do Bad Religion, and I think that got a big. I was like, in my head, I'm like, all right, if I see that they did that and they didn't even ask for my playlist, they don't know me, but I'm going to be heard anyways.
Exactly. So that's what I've been doing, basically listening to when I'm not doing all those things that you listed before, working and parenting and husbanding and keeping the house from falling into the ocean. I have been
learning how to play the bass.
There you go. Slap it to bass.
Slap it to bass. It only took us the entire show before we made a slap it to bass joke.
So what have you been listening to?
So I have been listening to a lot of everything. I haven't been really down one specific musical genre lately, and it all goes back to when we talked about adult contemporary music, and I got on my Quiet Storm kick.
Yeah,
and I've been listening to lots and lots of that. Whip Appeal at least once a day.
Good. You have to have your daily dose of Whip Appeal.
Yep. I've added Love TKO by Teddy Pendergrass to my mix.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one.
That's
that's a good one.
That's totally the fault of going off track the podcast, because Benny always talks about Teddy Pendergrass, and so I'm like, all right, I know who Teddy Pendergrass is, but why do I not know? And then I started listening. I'm like, oh, I know who Teddy Pendergrass is.
Yeah.
So I've been, for some reason, I keep going back to that music, and since I have an 11-year-old daughter, I listen to lots of pop music. Lots. Couldn't name it. Lots of it sounds the same, but it's entertaining nonetheless.
Have you heard that new song that's playing all over CHR radio stations? I don't know who it is. It's a female vocalist, but the chorus is "You Give Love a Bad Name" with different lyrics. It's talking about like kings and queens, blah, 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 but it's the exact melody of "Shot Through the Heart and You're Too." Oh my gosh. I don't know why this is bugging me so much, but if you listen to CHR for 2 hours, you're going to hear this song.
I've probably heard it.
You probably have. And the chorus is "You Give Love a Bad Name." And hopefully it's credited to Bon Jovi. At least they get some Skrillers for that, because it's directly taken from it.
But yeah, so like you, I've been listening to lots of podcasts, But because I'm a creature of habit, I have to keep going down my list of ones that I've like been following for a couple years because I'm like, I can't miss one. I can't miss
You're
one.
way ahead of me. You have too many podcasts now.
Well, I'm trying to pare some of them down.
But how? So, how do you decide which ones if you like them all, how do you decide which ones you're going to sacrifice? You can't.
I don't know. I haven't been able to yet. Like when I did sacrifice, I finally stopped listening to Welcome to Night Vale.
Why? I don't know anything about that one.
Go look it up, and then you'll get addicted to it, and then you can yell at me later. It's like an audio drama, and it's weird.
Oh, it's like a drama.
Like the early ones are really good, but then it kind of goes off track, and it's not. But I stopped listening to that one. Although it's good, don't get me wrong, it's a good one, but I just didn't have enough time anymore. I don't really listen to Last Podcast on the Left anymore. I used to listen to them all the time because for a period of time, like Henry Zabrowski felt like my spirit animal. But then I realized, no, he's not. And
he's just a person.
He's just a person.
Okay.
And so those two I've kind of pushed off. I listen to them every once in a while, but they're not on my main list anymore.
Yeah.
But when I do listen to, and she just came back from break. She's a true crime one from here in Michigan, and it's called So Dead with Jen Carpenter.
Oh, you told me that one. Yeah, I wrote it down, but I haven't had a chance yet.
She's out of Lansing. She's got a bookstore. She does like the haunted Lansing tours.
Oh, wow.
And she has a podcast called So Dead, and it's all based around like murdery type stuff here in Michigan.
I love murdery type stuff, especially in Michigan.
And she goes on summer break for the month of May, I think it is, or she goes spring break. That's what she calls it. Mm-hmm. And then she comes back in June with podcasts, and one just came out. So I'll be listening to it tomorrow morning.
Nice.
But I'm starting to add, like, I'm trying to slip in some of these indie ones that we're meeting online and listen to their stuff because I'll hear parts of it and I'll get into conversations with them on Twitter. And they've got me laughing that way. And I'm like,
right.
If the podcast is half as good as the conversation that's happening on Twitter.
Exactly.
And so, but the other part of what I've been watching is, and it kind of goes with this whole time and place of music and, Drunk, High, or Genius.
Yeah.
But I watched the Friends reunion.
Oh, yes.
And it was totally a trip down memory lane. I can time and place a lot of it because of when it was 94 to 2004. I mean, that was pretty much college and early adulthood. And then I've been watching the reruns ever since. And like my stepdaughter got into the reruns. My daughter's gotten into the reruns. Amy and I watched the reruns. It's like it's on all the time. So
I didn't realize you were such a super fan.
I am. It's one of my secret powers.
I don't know how in college you got to rip on me for loving ER for so long when you were a Friends fanatic that whole time.
Just because I talk a lot, Matt, doesn't mean I can't keep some things quiet.
It's crazy. That's great,
like,
but it's crazy.
That and Will and Grace.
Yeah, Will and Grace is fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but and I just wanted to say, and you kind of, fangirled about this in our texts is, we've been starting to get some cool likes on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually had Brian Fallon of the Gaslight Anthem, and Brian Fallon liked one of my tweets, and I was
amazing.
Which was amazing for me.
Mission accomplished.
And Dee Snider did too.
Dee Snider did.
And he did one of yours too. I'm like, oh my gosh, Dee knows both of us. He doesn't, but
Dee Snider and I are going to write a movie together. It's already set in stone. We're writing up the contracts now. It's going to be about time travel. It's going to be great. You guys should all watch it when it comes out.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to tell you. We're best friends now.
We're best friends. Brian Fallon's my new best friend now. He doesn't know it yet, but so if you guys could tell him, that'd be cool.
Yeah, someone should let him know so that he can move forward.
And just so we can totally wrap this up in a nice bow, if anybody could reach out to Jared Reddick and let him know that we kicked off the podcast with him. There you go.
Love it.
All right, everybody. Well, Matt, I guess it's time to wrap this one up. And so here we go. I'm Jace, and if you ask me why I like the way I play it.
And I'm Matt. There's only one thing I can say to you.
I want to rock. I forgot to hit the high register. I want to rock.
We were harmonizing.
Okay.
All
So
right.
and then we end. We wrapped it up, folks. Thanks for. We need to really get our socials into this.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we do.
X Radio X 1 on Instagram, X Radio X 1 on Twitter, X Radio X Podcast Network on Facebook.
Find us,
And
like us,
find us.
message us. We are at your beck and call.
Put pictures up of us, throw darts at it, but you have no idea what we look like. So just pick anybody.
Thanks for listening.
All right. See you next time. It's X Radio X.